I don't know, like, yeah, I could talk about that. That's a good story. That's not a bad story.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. So, truthfully, I wanted to be a midwife,
Oh,
deliver babies. That's what I wanted to do. Dentistry came easy. Dental hygiene in my household was a priority. Although both of my parents didn't have their teeth, they didn't want their kids not to have teeth.
okay.
But the availability of certain things wasn't available. Like how we could go to Shoppers and get something, you could go anywhere and get something. The availability, it was scarce, and you had to spend a lot of money to get it. I remember flossing my teeth with thread,
Really?
like sewing thread, because my mother used to sew, and the machine was there. There's lots of thread, and then my mother didn't have her teeth, and I remember as a young girl asking her, why you lose your teeth. And I used to look in her mouth, it's like, why you don't have your teeth? And she said, making all of you, right? She said getting children make her lose her teeth. So I always wanted to, like, I felt that was the easiest way for me to help. And then I found studying anything with dentistry, I used to remember it was easy. I kept pursuing, and I pursue, and that brought me to this space where I am in now. Right? So I have a picture now, I'll keep an eye on it. And this is the right side, the same thing. And you got to be careful. You see that there? We don't want that to be a cavity. It's not, right? Because it's a little brown. So you got to really, when you're brushing.
Well, you have a smaller one.
I have.
I can't get them.
I'll give you a brush to help you with that. Anyway, I can open my beer. It's not even a beer. It's a hard cider. It's not even a beer. I was opening my Banks beer with my teeth, like, but I paid the price. It didn't come out or anything. It just break, and it stayed there. And then I tried to patch it up because I couldn't go to the dentist. I didn't have money. And then it, of course, got worse, decay, and then it was hurting, and the only thing they do is pull it out. They pull teeth out. That's all they do in Guyana. They pull teeth out. At that time, I don't know what they do now because I haven't been there forever, but they just pull your teeth out. I hold my mouth. I felt like if all my teeth came out, but it wasn't all. I was like, my friend Sandra, she was watching me, like, she says, what's going on, Jono? And I'm just holding my mouth like, oh. But it didn't come out. Like, I felt it. And then I felt like, oh, that's rough. And then it felt like, oh, it's a little moving, but it's okay. And it had its little space in between, like, and it was like, oh, I know nothing about teeth. But now what I know about teeth, I know how ignorant it was for me to don't do anything about it. And I was like patching it, like, I try not to eat on that side. Not good, because when you're not eating on one side, there's stuff staying and building up on it, right? Oh man, ignorance is something else. So I just was like, when I start getting experience where they had to take it out, they took it out, I said, I need to learn about teeth. Losing that tooth was the worst thing ever. Was the worst. All because of playing cool, opening beer bottle. And I wasn't even no big beer drinker, but I just wanted to be cool. It was cool to be cool. It's so stupid. So when I see young people doing stupid things, I give them a pass because that was my big stupidity. It's not money that it cost me. It cost me a lot of pain. And I was afraid. I hid it from my mother. They wanted her to know I broke my teeth opening beer bottle. That's sacrilege. That's hell. Close. Same thing you must do when you brush. Toronto, it holds a special place for me. Like, there's lots of areas in Toronto that I used to go, and this was my happy place. They're not big fancy places. They're simple things like trail, tracks, tennis courts, those places. But when I was there by myself and I don't get me wrong, I had good experiences too. That's why I like that city. But then when you had those hard days, that you're working, you're grinding, you're going, you're studying, you're going to school, you're working, you get rejection, you get people treat you badly. They don't know you, but they treat you badly. There are places, all those little places I showed you are my happy places that I used to go there. I play tennis. I forget about people. But deep down inside, it's there. You say you forget it, but you really don't forget it. But you go to these places for coping, So lots of good things happen to me in Toronto. And lots of not so nice things when it comes to like work and, but that was it. Okay. That's all right. I'll take care of that in a second. So I'm working there, and I'm a dental assistant there, and so they need another dental assistant, right? Because it was a big office and we were short staffed. I'm working my ass off, and this person come in for an interview that they didn't know who it was, but she came for an interview, and when she saw me, and she was black, but they didn't want her, and they didn't even want to interview her after she came in, so they sent me to interview her. So I was so stupid, I went, but I couldn't tell her, girl, just go look for a job somewhere else, because they don't want to. And she's getting all nice with me because she's identifying with me like, oh, we could work here together and stuff. In my heart, it's like, yeah, that would be fine, but these people, just one of us is here right now. That's it. That's it. And that was when I realized a lot of things in my life at that time. Like, I knew stuff, but I don't know if I wanted to admit it or accept it. I block out. There's stuff I block out that I don't even. I was like, oh my God, yes, that happened. I just get rid of it, because just people that are mean and ignorant, right? Or ignorant and mean. Yeah. Because it's nasty when it happens. Yeah? Racism and prejudice shit, when it happens to you, it's painful. And only he who feels it knows it. Being alone in Toronto, no family member. I was by myself, like totally by myself. Communication wasn't as easy as it is now. When I do make a phone call to my mother, it used to be like hundreds of dollars. I remember Bell Canada calling me up one day and say, your phone bill is $150 something. I just want you to know that. And I was like, yeah, so, and that was just one phone call I made for a couple minutes talking to my mother, just to get one little hear a comforting voice. We just came back from England. I was in Guyana. And I'm trying to get friends, like trying to fit in, I really want to fit in, but adults, they don't know kids' problems. My problem wasn't my mother's problem. My mother's problem was, money and get her kids to just eating and food and blah, blah, blah. My problem was like, I come back to a country where I was born, but I don't sound like I'm from that country I was born. And the kids used to tease the crap out of me. So anyway, I went to school. My mother said to me, when you get to school, if there's school sports, you need to come home. And I said to her, yes. And I get to school and there was school sports. And the teacher saw me, is like, oh yeah, I need you, because I could have run. I was a good little runner. Like I still run at this old age, I still run. So I don't know how to tell the teacher no. My mother said come home if there is school sports. So I went to the school sports, and she was one of them. She said to me, "Oh, like when you're ready to eat, I'm right here. You come here and eat." And I was so shy. I wanted to eat so bad. I still didn't go to Miss Homer. I didn't go to her. The next thing you know, I'm gearing up for the track, and I'm all stretching out and doing everything for the track. And I see my brother walking, coming towards me, Garfield. He's Cordelia, come here. And I run. That time you don't disobey anyone that's older than you. So I run to him. He's like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I came to school sports and Mommy didn't tell you to come home." "Yeah, but the teacher told me they want me to run." He said, "No, Mommy wants you home." I was like, "Oh, trouble." Then I go to my teacher now. I said, "I have to go." And she's like, "Why?" I said, "My brother came for me." And she's like, "Why you didn't come to eat?" And I was like, "I couldn't find you." She said, "But how you find me now?" I didn't know what to say because I was just too shy. Then he's taking me, and him and I walking, going on the road. And he said, we stop in a store. In those days, any store you could have stopped and buy. They used to call them cake shops. You could have buy all sorts of little pastries and nice things to eat. For a kid, that's fancy for me. That was beautiful. So he bought the pop that we don't get pop at home. And he bought this cake. I think the cake was called Salara. It's red. Anyone from Guyana know, any Guyanese know what's a Salara. And him and I are sitting there eating it, and he's looking at me. He said, "You see this money I bought this with?" I said, "Mm-hmm." He said, "Mommy gave me it to buy a wild cane for you." I was like, "Mm-hmm." But I'm not doing that. He disobeyed her, and I'm thinking, "Ooh, you're in trouble." But the wild cane was so ignorant, because the cane was to beat me for disobeying her. And the wild cane, if you ask, back in those days, those teachers used to have them in school. It was like a bamboo, really thin like this, but long. And they would point and stuff with it, or they would whoop you with it. Oh my God. Now they would call that abuse. That is, and you know what? They're right. It is abuse, because it's like the worst feeling on your skin. You know? Oh man. I get that cane a couple times for no reason. Like, not that it was bad, for no reason. Just people taking their frustration out on you. Teachers in school, you know. Oh, so ignorant, so backward, you know. It's so many things was beautiful about that country, but I think it was like that all over the world, because it was like that in England too, you know. Anyway, Garfield spent her money and buy me a drink and him a drink. It was like a party for me, and Solara cake, and we eat and we went home. And guess what? She didn't beat me, but she gave him, oh my goodness. But he was old enough where, you know, he man up to her. He's taller than her, bigger, you know. And he just left the house. And I was there. Years after, I remember her saying, "Your brother really loved you. Your brother take care of you." And I was like, yeah, we all take care of each other. This is the first time I talk that story without breaking down and crying, because he's dead now. And then you realize, oh, there was a lot of love. It was all unspoken. It was just there. It was just there. The love was just there, you know. Parents do their best, yeah. And don't get me wrong, my mother, she was the best. But she was the best with what she knows best. You know, she make mistakes. I'm a mother, I make mistakes, but whatever. You know, we do what we know best, you know. But that wild cane thing, he saved my butt, because man, I don't think I wanted the whooping that day, because my blood was hot because I ran and I won the race, so I was up for the next one. You know, it was a good little run. He saved my bacon that day. But you wonder, sometimes you look back and you look at the culture you were in and stuff, and you wonder, you know, what would have happened if you didn't have that, you know, where you would have been, what you would have been doing, you know. But all those little things form me and make me. And I mean, it's not special, because I sure a lot of people, they have their experiences that they would wonder, what if that didn't happen? Where would I been and what have we been doing, and what kind of person I would have been. But my experiences, they give me a lot of compassion. Good memories, though. Really good memories. Some make you cry and some make you laugh and some make you realize how lucky you were. Yeah. Anyway, honey, thanks. I'm very happy here with you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for thinking about doing this with me.